I want to make a different kind of video today, and I want to make this video for those of you who just can't put up an antenna. Maybe you live in an apartment, maybe you live in an HOA and you can't put anything up, maybe your wife doesn't want to see an antenna, maybe you live in a nursing home, but you still want to get on the air at home, but you got to have something that's small, compact, multi-banded, and effective. Well, we're sitting in my living room right now. I'm doing FT8 and I'm making contacts. We can see on my radio I have the RF power set to 25%, and I'm using this Alpha Antenna's magnetic loop antenna. So how the heck does this work? So the whole antenna kit comes in this handsome carrying case. You got a zipper up here with a pouch. You can put all kinds of stuff. Then you've got this Velcro flap here, more pouches in here to put more stuff. But more importantly, the antenna itself. So we got these arrow shafts for doing stuff. We're gonna have a length of, this is actually 75 ohm coax, which I thought was kind of interesting, but perhaps that's just what it needs to make it work. We've got a BNC connector on the coax, but it also comes with a BNC female to PL259 for connecting up to either QRP or 100 watt radios. We're gonna have a length of, this is times Microwave LMR400. This is the solid center, I believe. This is going to be our actual radiating element. Then we're gonna have, this is the matching unit right here. We got a knob here. Alpha Antenna MagLoop, made in the USA. 25 watts digital, 50 watts FM CW, and 100 watts single sideband. That is what really excited me about this antenna. And then Steve from Alpha also gave me this guy. Alpha Antenna is really into kind of getting everyone on the air. So particularly those who are hard of sight or blind, this is something I'll show you in a minute that's going to allow you to tune this antenna with an audible beep so you know you're resonant. This is freaking cool. So that's all that's in the bag. How do we set this up? Well, we can do it a couple ways. First thing we want to do, grab our arrow shafts. It's going to come with this Velcro around it. And we have two different lengths. We've got the longer ones, that's going to be to support the loop. And then we have these three shorter guys. These are actually feet. So the bottom of this transformer, or capacitor rather, you've got this little connector here that has a 1/4-20, or if you unscrew this, I think it's a 5/8 thread, don't quote me on that, but it's like the size thread for the surveying tripods and stuff. So we can mount this right on a camera tripod if we want. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But the cool thing about this, there's holes in the back of this, and these feet are just going to go right in the holes here, like so. Set that down. Life is good. Now we can take our arrow shafts, connect these together, insert it in the top hole. Then we're going to take our coax, uncoil this guy. And we've got three little clips on here. This first clip, this clip in the center, has a hole in it that's gonna go right on top of the arrow shaft. Then we take our LMR400 and we kind of wanna try and center it. And there's a little slot right there. You can see that that fits in. We can go ahead and plug in the PL259s on the capacitor. You can see I did a terrible job lining this up, but that's okay. We can just pop it out, plug it back in, just like that. Tweak it up a little bit. I screwed that up, so I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to put this loop on the outside. It doesn't really matter where it goes. And then we've got some clips up here that are going to clip. This is basically like the magnetic coupler, if you will. That's going to clip to the LMR400. And then you plug your coax in, straighten up the loop there a little bit, and we are ready to get on the air. Now, as I said, we can also set this up on a tripod. So I'm just going to take the legs off here. I'm going to take the little tripod camera thing off of my tripod. Because it has a 1/4-20, we can just screw this in here. All right, done and done. Put this back on, just like that. And now I have this on my tripod, raised up a little bit more, you know, whatever, you can rotate it, do whatever, just get it off the table. So a couple different ways to set it up. Really awesome, really versatile. Now, how do we tune this antenna? This particular setup will do 15 through 20 meters. They also sell an additional loop that's smaller, an additional LMR400. It's about a quarter the size that'll do, I think, 20 through either 20 through 10 or 20 through 6, I can't remember. But basically, we've got a little knob right here, okay? And we can turn up the volume on our radio, and we're gonna turn this knob until we hear the loudest noise. If you have a waterfall, you can kind of see it come up on your waterfall as well. See how it just got louder? It gets louder and goes away. So that's kind of the sweet spot right there, okay? And you can kind of see where the static is on the waterfall. It's kind of touchy, so you're just gonna make very, very small incremental turns. Now we wanna make sure when we're tuning, this is very important, don't tune with more than 5 watts. Ask me how I know. Well, because I read the directions, but I also screwed this up, but I was able to fix it. So 5 watts, let's just go to CW, and I'm gonna put out a carrier. Let me show you the meter here so we can look at the SWR. Look at that. No SWR shown, okay? Now if we're off a little bit, see how the SWR went up? We can just key up and just gradually turn this knob until we get to where we want to be, right? Just like that. No SWR showing. So now we're tuned. Now as far as bandwidth, loop antennas are going to be pretty narrow bandwidth, but we don't need to tune like every single time we change frequencies. I think we got about 20 hertz. So let's go down to about 67 here. Key up. Still got a great SWR. Let's go a little bit lower. Yeah, we're still, so where was I? 87, so we got about 35 or so kilohertz on it. It's about 70 kilohertz either side of where we tune it. Maybe a little bit more. So it's not as incredibly narrow banded as I thought and what you may be thinking. Still kind of narrow banded. When you move around, you might need to retune it, but that's the price we pay for these kind of compromised antennas, to be able to literally play radio in our house or on your like apartment patio or something, or on my front porch. You don't want to set up a long wire antenna, etc. This takes up like 0 footprint. Now, once we're done tuning our antenna at no more than 5 watts, now we can turn up the power because we're tuned. So again, if we're doing digital, FT8, RIDI, those kinds of things, JS8 call, WinLink, I've done WinLink with this very successfully. We get 25 watts. If we're doing CW, we can do 50 watts. Well, if we're doing single sideband, we can crank this up all the way to 100 watts. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, kilo 8 micromeo delta, testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, kilo 8 micromeo delta. Look at that, 100 watts from a MagLoop. I have never seen a MagLoop that I know of that can do this much power in single sideband CW or digital. They're usually like limited at like 30 watts. So the fact that we can actually put out more power with this antenna is freaking awesome. Now let's talk about this guy. This is the SWR sounder. This is for visually impaired or blind people. This literally just sits right on top of the capacitor here. And let me tune off frequency here so we're not resonant. And listen to what happens. So I'm gonna key up CW, terrible SWR. We're gonna get back into range. Listen to that. So it gets louder as we're tuned. Perfectly tuned, got a nice loud beep. And now visually impaired, blind people can tune this antenna using this audible sounder. That is freaking sweet. This takes no batteries either. This is all just magic. No batteries, no power, no nothing. It's just all, I guess, inductance, maybe, capacitance. It's whatever it is. So one of the cool things about magnetic loop antennas, they're somewhat directional. So right now, if I point this antenna, and it's kind of going this way, right now it's pointing at you. So that's where it's gonna radiate, in this field, right? But if I turn the antenna, and I look through the loop, this is a null, okay? So this is important for a couple different reasons. One, if we want to point our antenna to our intended contact, we can kind of have some bit of directionality. But if you live in a high noise environment, like I do at my house, we can actually use this to notch out some of the noise. So as we look at my radio now, we see a little bit of noise, right? But if I turn this antenna so it's parallel to the power lines in my neighborhood, look at how much more noise I have, okay? It's atrocious. This is my noise floor at home. It's horrible, okay? But by using a magnetic loop antenna, and this is what on my end-fed half-wave, this is what it looks like on my 7610 in my shack 90% of the time. Sometimes it goes away, it's usually there. But if we just turn this antenna, now we're notching out that noise. So the noise is coming from somewhere in this plane, and this is all nice, clear signal that I have to operate in at my house. Now, I don't want to mislead you into thinking that this is going to be some kind of super magic awesome antenna indoors. It's a compromise. What I want to show you is simply the fact that it works. Look at this. We're on 14227. We're hearing people talk, okay? And I haven't even tuned this down to where these guys are. We could tune it in a little bit more, maybe get a little bit stronger signal. We can maybe turn the antenna a little bit, point it towards them a little bit, right? The point is that it works, okay? As we tune around, maybe we'll find some more signals. Again, highly, highly compromised inside, right? But we can still hear people. And if we can hear them, we can work them. Now, single sideband is going to be the biggest challenge if you're trying to do this inside, because it's the least efficient mode that we use. I've done a lot of FT8 here before filming this video, sitting in this very same spot with a lot of success. FT8 digital modes work great in this configuration. I have not made a single sideband contact inside the house. However, when I take this outside on my front porch, you see way more signals, and you can see signals here now on the waterfall, but it's a bit more challenging. So if you are stuck inside, you may be relegated to CW or digital. I'm not saying you can't make single sideband contacts, but it's certainly going to be a lot harder. But you can see we're still seeing signals, even though I haven't retuned this. I think it looks like something's going on here around 340. As you get used to kind of tuning this, you kind of don't even need to actually key up. We can kind of see there's a lot more static on the left-hand side of the waterfall than there is on the right. We can kind of use our scope to see if we're actually in tune. Now the static is kind of in the middle of the waterfall, right? We've got some more signals down here that just went away. But let me tune off frequency a little bit. We'll go down to CW, make sure we turn the power down a little bit. 7% should be fine. Let's show you the meter here. Look at that. Just by looking at the meter and how much static I have on the waterfall, we kind of know that we're in tune. So they're not as big of a pain in the butt to tune as I thought, and what probably a lot of people think, because, oh, you tune off frequency a couple kilohertz, you got to retune. That's not really the case. Just wanted to make that kind of clear. This is a proof of concept for those of us who have a high noise floor, or those of you that live in apartments, live in areas where you can't put up an antenna, or maybe you're just taking a trip or something, whatever. You want a small, compact, lightweight antenna to take with you that you can run 100 watts single sideband, 50 watts CW, 25 watts digital, and actually make contacts. So I think I'm going to wrap it here. Hopefully this just kind of really highlights what you can actually do with very, very compromised situations in your apartment, in your HOA, in your nursing home, wherever it is. You can't put up an antenna. check out the Alpha Antenna's MagLoop. Not cheap, I think they go for about 400 bucks. I know, but when you have no other options, the MagLoop antenna from Alpha Antennas just might get you on the air. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Mike, K at MRD from the living room. We'll see you next time on Ham Radio Tube 73.